Life's a fragile thing here. One minute you're chewing on a burger, the next minute you're dead meat.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 accidental movie deaths.
Anybody I get close to dies. If I were you, I'd run.
For this list, we're looking at the most notable cases where a film character's demise came inadvertently, whether it was by their own hand or by someone else's. However, we won't be including animated movies on this list. Beware of major spoilers ahead. Did you know of any other misfortunate deaths in movies? Share them with us in the comments below. Number 20. Stunned and Done. The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad. The Naked Gun follows Lieutenant Frank Drebin, played by the late great Leslie Nielsen, as he stumbles his way through a case.
So what are you gonna do about it, copper?
Well, why should I tell you?
Maybe this'll help.
I still don't think I should tell you.
Can you spot me at 20? How about now?
All right, I'm going down to Ludwig's office. I'll find out if you're telling the truth.
Given all the over-the-top slapstick gags running throughout the film, it should come as no surprise that the villain's death is played up for laughs. During the climax, Drebin wounds Ludwig with his wrist gadget.
Leave the girl alone.
I am. I'm going to kill you.
I see.
Two can play at that game.
He then plainly states that the antagonist is only stunned and will be fine, seconds before he goes down over a ledge.
He's just stunned. He'll be all right in a couple of minutes.
The fall likely does the trick, but in typical Naked Gun fashion, it doesn't stop there. A bus, a steamroller, and a marching band all play a part in solidifying his death. Number 19. Cliffside Drop. Casper. Despite being based on a friendly cartoon character, this Casper adaptation features some pretty devious characters.
Are you trying to tell me that I just spent the last 2 days holding his clammy hand, waiting for him to kick, and all I get in return is one lousy piece of property?
No, it was lousy 50 years ago. Now it's condemned.
One of them is Kerrigan, the pampered owner of the mansion trying to locate its hidden treasure. Once she realizes that having a ghost on her side would make things easier, she attempts to use her car to kill her attorney and minion Dibs.
Dibs, you're taking this way too personally.
She gets what's coming to her when she misses, collides with a tree, and steps right off the edge of a cliff. However, unlike most deaths, that doesn't cut her screen time short. Indeed, Kerrigan gets a ghost on her side, herself.
Not so fast, little man. The bitch is back.
Needless to say, the price was steeper than she intended. Number 18. Luck of the Irish? Dodgeball, a true underdog story. There's nothing like the death of a mentor to give a sports movie an extra dose of drama.
I wasn't born expecting the world to do me any favors. I earned this body, and I built this temple out of nothing more than a little can-do attitude and some elbow grease. And yes, a large inheritance from my father, Earl Goodman.
Dodgeball took that expectation and crushed it under the massive weight of comedic irony. With his gym about to be swallowed up by a corporate giant, Pete and his friends enter a dodgeball competition to save it. They're helped by Patches O'Houlihan, an irate and eccentric legend of the game played by Rip Torn.
If you're gonna learn to be true dodgeballers, then you've got to learn the 5 Ds of dodgeball. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. If you master the 5 Ds, no amount of balls on earth can hit you.
Patch's methods are certainly abnormal, but they work wonders for the team, just when things are looking up. And directly after Pete says Patches gives them a great shot at winning, the coach is crushed by a casino sign reading the luck of the Irish.
Tomorrow we're gonna pecker slap those Globo Gym bastards.
Yeah! You really think we can beat Global Gym, Pete?
As long as we got Patches, we got a shot.
Talk about an unlucky twist of fate. Number 17. Friendly Fire, Starship Troopers. Friendly fire is an unfortunate reality of military combat, but we doubt any viewer was expecting it during a training sequence.
You will be firing live ammunition in a simulated combat environment. You will exercise extreme caution on my assault course. Do you get me? Sir, yes, sir!
In this sci-fi satire, humankind clashes with a deadly species of giant extraterrestrial bugs. As such, Earth's military forces take things pretty seriously, especially training. During combat practice, the troops are given live ammo, with their targets firing lasers back at them. feeling a need to earn the best score, protagonist Rico's team shows no patience when fellow trainee Breckenridge's helmet causes him to mess up.
Hey! God damn it, Breckenridge! Clear my line of fire!
It's my helmet! Don't screw it up!
You're gonna blow the score!
Unfortunately, Rico removes the helmet, and as an inattentive ally is hit with a laser, she accidentally strikes Breckenridge. Yikes.
Are you rated to repair the M3 tactical helmet, Rico? Sir, no, sir. Then why did you order your man to remove his helmet during a live fire exercise? Sir, I needed everyone in my squad operational, sir.
Number 16, Sidney Behringer's complicated fall, Magnolia. Featuring a massive group of characters who are all unknowingly connected, Paul Thomas Anderson's Magnolia is a brilliant study in coincidence. In fact, the opening illustrates how strange and unlikely things can happen through 3 tales of improbable chance. One of these concerns Sidney Behringer, a young man who tries to take his own life.
At the same time young Sidney stood on the ledge of this 9-story building, an argument swelled 3 stories below.
After he jumps, his mother inadvertently discharges a weapon aimed at his father, thinking it was unloaded. She misses, and instead fires out the window, right where her son, who had ironically loaded the weapon, happens to be falling.
And it was not uncommon for them to threaten each other with a shotgun or one of the many handguns kept in the house. And when the shotgun accidentally went off, Sidney just happened to pass.
While a safety net would have saved his life from the jump, he couldn't survive that.
He is killed instantly, but continues to fall, only to find, 5 stories below, a safety net installed 3 days prior for a set of window washers that would have broken his fall and saved his life.
Number 15, rat poison, Dumb and Dumber. Even if Harry and Lloyd did intend to murder someone, we highly doubt they'd be clever enough to pull it off. Most of Dumb and Dumber hinges on the bad guys believing the two to be much smarter than they are.
They must have been following us for weeks.
What do you say?
Gas, man. How the hell do they know that I got gas?
They gotta be pros.
After all, that's why henchman Mental initially wants to harm them with rat poison. The goon, however, has an ulcer he treats with pills, which is more consequential than it sounds.
Who the hell you figure this guy's working for anyway?
I don't know. We sure as hell better find out.
The Elsa?
I'll live.
When the always clueless Harry and Lloyd load his food up with peppers as a joke, things go badly, and fast. Actually trying to help, Harry then grabs what he thinks are Mental's meds for him, only for them to turn out to be the aforementioned poison.
Pills are good. Pills are good. Better? You want some ketchup and mustard? That helped us.
Number 14, Poor Aim, The Other Guys. When danger comes to New York City, it falls to an unsuspecting duo of misfit officers to stop it. But only because the traditional hero cops accidentally ended their own lives.
Did someone call 911? Holy shit!
Alan and Terry pale in comparison to egotistical detectives Danson and Highsmith, played to a T by Dwayne Johnson and Samuel L. Jackson, respectively.
We couldn't do our job if it weren't for you guys doing all the paperwork, answering the phones, all that stupid shit that we don't like to do.
All the gunfights, all the car chases, all the sex we don't want to have with women, but we have to all do to what you guys do. Thank you.
As parodies of unstoppable heroes, Danson and Highsmith think they can survive anything life throws at them. During a high-stakes chase, the duo plans to catch up to the criminals by jumping from a rooftop. They have a plan, but it's a bad one.
You thinking what I'm thinking, partner?
Aim for the bushes.
That may have worked in a traditional action movie, but here, their poor aim results in them going splat. Number 13, Bad Under Pressure, World War Z. After a zombie virus outbreak, the US government begins bringing together the necessary minds to develop a vaccine. One such mind belongs to virologist Andrew Fassbach, who travels with Brad Pitt's Jerry and others to South Korea, where the outbreak was first documented.
That's Dr. Fassbach, virologist from Harvard. The analogy I keep coming back to is Spanish flu.
Spanish flu?
It didn't exist in 1918, but by 1920, it killed 3% of the world.
He's our best bet at figuring out what this thing is.
Fassbach believes pinpointing its source is the key, but it seems he isn't great when it comes to dealing with high-pressure situations.
Hold up. Keep your finger off the trigger.
As soon as any undead show their faces, he runs back into the group's aircraft, only to lose his balance, fall, and mistakenly fire his weapon at himself. It's an almost weirdly comical death in a fairly serious movie, and he seems so smart beforehand. Number 12. Mighty Machete, Walk Hard, The Dewey Cox Story. Walk Hard spoofs a great deal of things from the Johnny Cash biopic Walk the Line. This seemingly includes the traumatic childhood death of Cash's brother.
You hear him, JR? Do you hear them angels? I can hear them, Jack. They're so beautiful.
While in one movie, it's a horrific accident Cash was made to feel guilty for. In the other, it's a macabre joke. As the young Dewey Cox spends time with his brother Nate, the two begin to play fight with their father's machetes.
I challenge you to a duel, sir. I don't know, Nate. You know how mad Paul gets when we play with his machetes. Come on, Dewey. There's nothing wrong with a little machete fighting. Now, on guard!
As Dewey winds up for a swing, the sheath flies off and poor Nate suffers the consequences. Even though he should have died instantly, Nate's upper half stays alive long enough to have a conversation with his sibling.
Dewey, I'm cutting half pretty bad. In case I don't make it, then you have to be double great for the both of us.
Wow, that's a lot of pressure, Nate.
You can handle it, Dewey.
Talk about being cut down in your prime. Number 11. Death by Steamroller, Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. Although this death seems entirely avoidable, the punchline is that it isn't, while making what should be a thrilling escape. Super spy Austin Powers and his partner Vanessa commandeered the slowest getaway vehicle imaginable, a steamroller.
Hang on, I'm gonna floor it! Watch out! Move! Move! Move!
As Austin yells at guards to get out of the way, one becomes frozen in fear and repeatedly screams as he's about to die.
Watch out!
In a wonderful case of comedic framing, we see that not only is there plenty of time for the man to move out of the way, but also plenty of space for Austin to avoid him. Of course, neither do what they should, resulting in one of the more memorable jokes in the movie. Number 10. Double Tap, Meet Joe Black. It doesn't matter how cute the person you just met at a coffee shop is, don't stop for one last look in the middle of a busy street. Take this entry as a cautionary tale. After flirting in a coffee shop, Brad Pitt's character is nearly run over by one car. Crisis averted, right? Well, not quite, as he's then promptly bounced between two others. It's obviously meant to be dramatic, especially as death itself later takes over the deceased's body.
Your death. Yes. Death. That's me.
But honestly, the two characters constantly looking back at one another and the ragdoll physics at play make the whole scene pretty humorous. Just ask the internet. Number 9. A very real explosion, Tropic Thunder. Film history is filled with directors who would do anything to accomplish their vision, and Tropic Thunder takes great fun in showing how horribly that could go wrong.
The film is already rumored to be 1 month behind schedule, just 5 days into shooting. The reason? Fingers are pointed at rookie director Damien Cockburn.
With his movie's budget inflating and the egos of his cast uncontrollable, director Damien Cockburn needs a quick solution. So he puts his cast in the wilderness, using covert cameras to finish filming.
We have rigged this entire Valley of Death with hidden cameras. And I will be shooting as well, from unseen vantage points so that every glorious moment is captured on film.
Unfortunately, the place he takes them to is occupied by a violent gang. It isn't long before Damien takes a wrong step onto a landmine, and, well, he doesn't survive.
Let's go and make the greatest war movie ever!
Yeah!
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 Oh. Tragically hilarious, the group believes it to be another ruse and continues acting accordingly. Number 8. Reactionary violence, Burn After Reading. Joel and Ethan Coen know how to make death funny, and the demise of Brad Pitt's Chad in Burn After Reading is irrefutable proof. Pitt plays one of two clueless gym workers who stumble upon what they believe to be confidential CIA intel.
I'm not touching this. I want this out of here. Just
throw it out?
No, you can't do that. You should put up a note in the ladies' locker room.
Put up a note? Highly classified shit found?
Their exploitation plans hit a snag when Chad breaks into analyst Osborne Cox's home. While he's there, Osborne's wife's secret and paranoid lover Harry shows up, finding Chad in a closet. Harry completely freaks out and takes him out in a rather grisly way. It's definitely a shocking murder, but it isn't intentional or premeditated. Is it just us, or does that somehow make it worse? Number 7. Unnecessary mayhem. Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. There's probably no topping Tucker and Dale vs. Evil when it comes to accidental deaths. The titular country bumpkins are only interested in fixing up their new vacation home.
Oh my God. It's perfect. And what'd they call this, a fixer-upper? Yeah. All right, let's go check it out inside.
But a few run-ins with college kids who have seen too many scary movies leads to deadly disaster. When one of the students gets hurt, Tucker and Dale take her to safety.
Tucker and I brung you here last night.
Why?
But because you were about to go swimming with your friends, and then you climbed up onto a bunch of rocks, and you slipped and fell and banged your head, and then you fell into the water. And then I dove in and rescued you.
Since the group thinks the duo are really dangerous, they waste no time mounting an assault. The giant misunderstanding leads to numerous inadvertently self-inflicted and rather gruesome deaths. From self-impalement to a wild wood chipper-based demise, most of the deaths throughout the film happen entirely by accident. It's truly an unhinged sight to behold.
Some kid, he just hooked himself right into the wood chipper. What? Head first right into the wood chipper. From his shoes and his pants, it looked like it might have been one of the college kids.
Number 6. A piercing demise. Spider-Man. We love the comedic timing of Vulture's accidental incineration of Shocker in Homecoming.
They work. I don't know. I can't afford that.
Damn.
But if we can only pick from one of Spidey's big screen adventures, we're going with Sam Raimi's groundbreaking 2002 flick. During the climactic fight between Spider-Man and Green Goblin, aka Norman, the hero gains the upper hand. But Norman didn't get to be known as Peter's nemesis for nothing.
Give me your hand. Believe in me, as I believed in you. I've been like a father to you. Be a son to me now.
He puts on a sad face and pretends to be remorseful while secretly preparing to take Peter out. Unfortunately for Norman, who clearly didn't think about where his glider would end up, the protagonist's spider sense kicks in.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
With one swift backflip, the villain's reign of terror unexpectedly comes to a piercing end. Number 5. An unfortunate gift. Happy Gilmore. Revenge can make a pretty sweet gift, but there's no denying Happy should have thought things through here. In this 90s sports comedy, the titular ill-tempered golfer is taught by Chubbs Peterson, a retired pro whose hand was bitten off by an alligator.
Damn alligator bit my hand off.
Oh my God!
Yeah, tournament down in Florida. I hooked my ball in the rough down by the lake. Damn alligator just popped up, cut me down in my prime. He got me.
Throughout the movie, Chubbs shares his wisdom with Happy, which is greatly beneficial. To show how grateful he is, Happy takes out the alligator responsible for ruining his mentor's career and delivers his head to him.
Oh, I got something for you too, pal.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I figured if it wasn't for you, none of this would have happened, right? So I wanted to show my appreciation.
Naturally, the present comes as a pretty big shock that sends Chubbs fatally stumbling backward.
I got his head.
It's pretty surprising, and though Happy is understandably upset, it's the push he needs to win in the end. Number 4. Fun with gasoline. Zoolander. In the world of Zoolander, the male models aren't exactly the smartest bunch.
How can we be expected to teach children to learn how to read if they can't even fit inside the building?
Derek, it's just a
I don't want to hear your excuses!
That's why they make perfect pawns in criminal dealings. But before any of that, their low levels of intelligence are expertly showcased in one of the funniest death scenes ever put to film. With Derek Zoolander down on his luck, his like-minded pals suggest a joyous outing to take his mind off things.
Know what could really help you sort through these important issues?
What? Orange Mocha Frappuccino!
Their fun culminates in a play fight at a gas station. Things escalate as they go from using squeegees to gas hoses, with Wham's Wake Me Up Before You Go-Go playing throughout. It's an exceptionally silly scene until one of them decides to have a smoke, leaving Derek without any friends to lean on. Number 3. The Witch Melts, The Wizard of Oz. If ever there was a villain who got what was coming to her, it's the Wicked Witch from The Wizard of Oz.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
She spends much of the movie tormenting Dorothy and her friends and being particularly nasty to the brainless scarecrow, all for a pair of shoes. Though the wizard sets our group on a mission to retrieve the antagonist's broomstick, things don't go as planned.
That's how much longer you've got to be alive. And it isn't long, my pretty. It isn't long. I can't wait forever to get those shoes.
Dorothy and company wind up within the villain's grasp. The witch takes the time to light the scarecrow up in flames, only to bring about her own downfall when Dorothy saves him. With one splash from a bucket of water, she becomes nothing more than a harmless puddle.
You cursed brat! Look what you've done! I'm melting! Melting! Oh, what a world! What a world!
Number 2. An ill-advised practical joke, Zombieland. Throughout their journey, Tallahassee, Columbus, Wichita, and Little Rock come across countless zombies.
What do you think? Zombie kill of the week?
Close, but no cigar.
But that's to be expected in a film like this. What none of them and no moviegoer expected, however, was to hang with Bill Murray. The group crashes at the comedian's mansion once they make it to Los Angeles.
What's with the get-up?
Oh, I do it to blend in. You know, zombies don't mess with other zombies.
After geeking out over Murray, who disguises himself as a zombie so he can go out, Tallahassee and Wichita encourage him to prank the nervous Columbus. This goes about as well as one might guess, ending with a fatal hole in the actor's chest.
Is that how you say hello? Where you come from?
Oh my god, I can't believe I shot Bill Murray.
Hey, we'd feel bad if we mistakenly killed Bill Murray too, but since this is fictional, we can say that the character's last moments are hilarious. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Marvin's Bad Luck, Pulp Fiction. When going into a Quentin Tarantino movie, you can expect a sizable amount of brutal deaths. This has always been true, and one of the most well-timed demises is found in Pulp Fiction.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother.
While obtaining their boss's briefcase from a group of double-crossers, Vincent and Jules are surprised to find one foe's bullets miss them entirely. They then grab survivor Marvin and flee the crime scene while debating divine intervention.
I'm telling Marcellus today. I'm through.
But why don't you tell him at the same time why?
Don't worry, I will.
Yeah, and I bet you $10,000 he laughs his ass off.
I don't give a damn if he does.
At an impasse, Vincent turns to get Marvin's take on the question, before unintentionally firing his weapon at the poor guy.
Marvin, what do you make of all this?
Man, I don't even have an opinion.
Well, you gotta have an opinion.
Everything from the camera position to the mid-sentence accident to the duo's reaction to Marvin's fate is delightfully dark. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.